Benvenuti ad IBC2024 con Trans Audio Video. Siamo allo stand Arri. Arri quest'anno è l'IBC con una novità veramente molto importante. Il marchio leader delle produzioni cinematografiche entra con forza nel mercato delle produzioni live broadcast con la nuovissima Alexa 35 Live. Si tratta di un sistema completo per produzione live che utilizza la camera Alexa 35 che può essere utilizzata sia nella versione cinema oppure nella versione dedicata broadcast, che può comunque sempre essere upgradata con un upgrade firmware a avere tutte le funzioni per la camera cinema, che viene completata da un'unità fibra con tutte le funzioni e i controlli tipici del mondo broadcast live e una nuovissima CCU che permette produzioni di livello cinematografico con tutta la qualità e soprattutto la colorimetria e la gamma dinamica che Arri è capace di offrire con i propri prodotti, ora anche a produzioni di tipo entertainment, sportivo, eccetera. Quindi una grossissima novità da casa Arri.
Hello, my name is Mark Shipman-Mueller. I'm a Senior Product Manager at Arri, and we're here at IBC 2024, and I'll be showing you the Alexa 35 Live multicam system. Now, we've been in multicam in live production for quite a while. We've had the Amira Live system, we have our Artemis, our Trinity, we have the Arri lighting, and we've done some really big concerts. Adele, Ed Sheeran, Rolling Stones album launch. So we know this industry a little bit, I would say. We're getting there. And now we've had a lot of people using the Alexa 35, the best motion picture camera there ever was. And they're also wanting to use it for live concerts, for soccer games, for events, for high-end corporate events. And so we decided we're going to build a fiber backend so that it's much easier to use the Alexa 35 in live events. Now, this new system consists of 5 components. The first one is the camera. Alexa 35 Live is exactly the same hardware as the Alexa 35, same sensors, same electronics, so you're getting the same image quality. 17 stops of dynamic range, no other camera can match that, and the fantastic Arri Reveal color science, which gives you really good looking skin tones and fantastic highly saturated colors, especially in concerts. That's really important. But in order to reduce the price of the camera a little bit, we've taken away some things. So the live camera has only ProRes, no Arri RAW, and it goes up to 60 frames a second, not 120 frames a second. Don't worry, you can buy a license and get all those features back if you decide to. Now, on the camera, attached to the camera, is the fiber camera adapter, which has all the controls and all the input and output connectors that you need in a live production environment. You have your intercom, you have your return video. In fact, there are 4 return videos you can put into the base station, and then 1 you can select to come out here. You have your audio, you have intercom, you have an extra fiber tunnel. So in case you have a PTZ camera, you can just pop that right next to the camera, plug it into the extra fiber tunnel, comes out to the base station, and you have all kinds of other connectors. The fiber camera adapter attaches to the fiber base station with a SMPTE 311 cable. This is a cable that over fiber transports signal and power. And if you're going up to 1 kilometer, we can put up to 400 watts of power in here. Again, something nobody else can match. And last but not least, on the fiber camera adapter, there's a display that gives you information about the signal quality and the power levels. So if you're doing troubleshooting, you don't have to run to the control room. You can do that right here on the camera. And now let's go to the next item, which is the fiber base station. So this is the back of the fiber base station, where you see here the redundant power supply. Here's your SMPTE 311 cable coming from the camera, and this is the extra fiber tunnel that comes out here at the fiber base station. Here we have an array of 15, that's 15 SDI outputs that can all work at the same time. You get a UHD image. There are 2 broadcast quality HD down converters built in, and you can get this at 3G, 6G, and 12G. We have our audio connectors here. We have a program and tally connector here, which by the way is the same that Sony uses, so you can use your existing cables. And then here we have 2 SMPTE 2110 connectors that use a protocol called 2022-7, which means it's a redundant network. There are 2 networks actually going at the same time, and the receiving end will pick whichever packet arrives first. So if you have trouble with one of the networks, again, the other one will step in, and again, you still stay on air, and there's no problem. Redundancy is very important for us because we know how critical it is in live production. All right, the fourth component is the Scarhoy remote control panel. This is what the shader would use to control the image on the camera. But because the Scarhoy control panel can talk directly to the camera, you can also control the camera. So you can set frames per second, shutter angle. You could even control the lens. Now, I would not pull focus from here, but let's say the operator is not on the camera, the engineer wants to make sure, wants to do a test, wants to focus, you could even do that from here. This is something that nobody else has, but because we work so closely with Scarhoy, we were able to make the Scarhoy talk directly to the camera. And then here at the show, we actually have some prototypes of two adapters that allow you to go from the 7311, which is fiber plus power, to a tactical fiber, which is what's used a lot in America, which is just fiber without power. In America, they have bigger stadiums that they run these long tactical fibers. So with these adapters, you can either go with the American system or with the European system for tactical fiber. Last but not least, we at Arri, we like to build systems. Personally, I'm a camera fetishist. I love the cameras, but you don't just use a camera. You use a camera with a lens and a whole bunch of accessories. And so we build a whole bunch of accessories for the system to make sure it can actually be used very well on set. So what do we have here? We have a tally light with a multi-segment display. We have a special new handle that is longer because now the camera is longer, of course. And it has a rail on which the new yoke slides for our monitor. Right now we're using our 7-inch CCM1 monitor, and we're also working on a 10-inch monitor. And then one of the important things is lenses, and one of the big enablers for Super 35 cinematic and live production have been the new Fujifilm Duo lenses. We have the 25 to 1000 here. However, this lens is so big that you don't attach the lens to the camera, you attach the camera to the lens. And you do that with a large lens adapter, of which we also built our own, because we wanted to make sure that you could very quickly attach the camera to the large lens adapter and remove it. And we're doing this with a very clever method. The camera sits on a saddle on the large lens adapter, and then the lens mount will actually position the camera in place, and then we can pull a lever here that expands and locks it wherever it is. So we don't twiddle around with screws and knobs to position the camera. The lens mount does that for us, and then we just hold it where it is. That makes switching really, really quickly. One of our engineers says he can do it in 39 seconds now, and he's saying, yeah, anybody can try to beat him at this record. And we've seen this also. You did a test with Sky Austria for the opening of the Austrian Soccer League. And it was really amazing. We could pop it off, put it on somebody's shoulder. They were shooting interviews. Then they ran back, popped it on here, shot the game, popped it back off, did some more interviews. It worked really, really well. The system is shipping. We shipped the first units to a customer in Australia. They've already done some productions. They're very happy. And we're now gathering feedback. We're building the next batch of systems, and it's actually going really, really well. I'm pretty happy. This has been a good IBC. Thank you very much.